And Fremont County has experienced a 14-day average COVID-19 rate of 16.7, one of the highest rates in the state. The county has a total of just 121 cases, but most have been reported in the last month. 37% of the positive cases are amongst those ages 18 to 40.
Now, Fremont-Mills Community Schools is in that county, and it started the year in person, but has now transitioned to remote learning after students started testing positive for the virus.
3 News Now reporter Kent Lutzen has more on how the district is adapting and moving forward.
That's the scary part of this is we don't know what tomorrow will bring.
Fremont-Mills Superintendent David Goot says the district started the year out with in-person learning, planning for a potential COVID-19 outbreak.
On September 15th, we started to get our first cases of COVID reported to us in our student population.
Goot added within a span of 2 weeks, the district had a total of 18 cases. On top of that, Fremont County's 14-day average positivity rate was around 17%, falling above Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds' threshold for schools to move remote. As of last week, Goot says 52% of the high school would have been in quarantine whether or not they moved to the virtual option. That's more than 100 students at the 7th through 12th grade levels. Reynolds released new quarantine guidelines for schools, stating those who wear a mask and come into contact with a positive case don't need to quarantine. This directly conflicting with the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
And a common frustration that was expressed to me was around the guidelines for quarantining students and teachers who have been in contact with positive cases.
The recommendations are not mandatory, and districts still have the final say on their quarantine procedures. However, one thing that is still mandatory in the state is putting fall sports on pause if a district decides to move remote.
We just had some unfortunate circumstances that kind of came our way.
Tracy Malcolm, Fremont-Mills varsity volleyball coach and mom to Husker recruit Seth Malcolm, says the athletes are trying to stay positive despite missing games and practices.
It's tough. It's tough mentally on everybody.
In Tabor, Kent Lutzen, 3 News Now.
Goot says the district plans to stay in remote learning until October 5th. He says temporarily moving remote was the safest decision for students and staff.